Good morning, eighth graders. Happy Tuesday. Today we are going to continue our investigation of what makes a hero. You're going to need your notebook, and if possible, because you're going to be taking some notes, you might want to print out a copy of today's article. So if that's something you want to do, you can push pause right now and go do that quickly. The article can be found in the weekly planner, which is a couple of slides down, as well as at the end of this slideshow. You won't be able to click it from my presentation, though. You'll have to go to the slide deck itself. Okay, so getting started, and you don't have to do that, but if you don't do it, then you should take notes. Our book talk today is called Dear Martin, and it is right here. So Dear Martin is a story about an African-American teenager who's a totally great kid, good head on his shoulders, good, like he does well in school, he's respectful, all of these things. So, but he ends up getting in trouble by the police, and he feels it's very unjust. So in order to take out his frustrations, he starts writing letters to Martin Luther King, just explaining what life is like for him and what he's going through. So it's really, really good. It's very timely, meaning like, right now, there's a lot of issues surrounding social justice and racism and things like that. And this is a great book for maybe understanding that a little bit better and things like that. So that's Dear Martin by Nick Stone. There is actually a sequel to this coming out at the end of the month too, which I'm very excited about. So highly recommend, 5-star book, really, really good. And I am planning on going into Ike sometime this week. So if you want any books at all, or you want me to put something up in the office for you, please, please, please email me as soon as possible so I can do that for you. All right. So now today's planner. What are we doing today? We're continuing to talk about what is a hero. You guys are going to read this article here, and that's all you're going to do with it. You're going to do a close reading, meaning you're going to read it at least twice, but you are not going to do an article of the week or anything like that on it, okay? So that's that. And so I'm also going to be talking about the essay that we're going to be starting this week and continuing next week. So I already went over this yesterday, what makes a hero. I'm going to read it again just to really start to get your mind churning and have it sink in. And then I'm going to talk about the way briefly that your essay is going to be structured, and then we'll read the article. So what makes a hero? A hero is someone we look up to or admire because of his or her qualities or achievements. He or she are individuals who emerge to perform great deeds or challenges our view of the world. A hero can be someone close to us, such as a relative, friend, or neighbor. They can also include, I'm going to take out those in history or stars of today. Athletes, actors, musicians, or artists. They can include ordinary people who were put in extraordinary circumstances and behaved heroically. A hero could include people who may live their lives quietly, helping others. So those are all definitions of a hero. Okay, so for this assignment, the name of the assignment is Definition Hero Essay. In this assignment, you will write a 3-paragraph essay with an introduction and a controlling thesis, and that's just like a regular thesis. It just sounds fancier. And if you're like, thesis, what the heck is that? Don't worry, I am here to help. That leads to 2 paragraphs about people you believe to be heroes. Use the following information to help guide you in what needs to be in the paragraphs. So paragraph 1 is an introduction. You're going to define hero in your own words. And if you choose what a hero is not. And that's something called definition by negation. You define something, tell what it is by telling what it's not. Like a hero is not selfish. So then therefore we know that a hero is giving or selfless. Also, write to what characteristics and qualities you and/or people value most in a hero in the paragraph with a controlling thesis to drive your next 2 paragraphs. And again, we will get to a controlling thesis and all of those things. For paragraph 2, you're going to give your first example of a hero. You're going to be sure to detail 2 to 3 reasons why you deem this person a hero. If applicable, provide quotes and also include explanation of your analysis. Don't forget the concluding sentence. And then paragraph 3 is going to be the second example of a hero. And the instructions for that are the same as paragraph 2. Okay, and you do not have to have a conclusion in this assignment. So moving on to, hopefully you understand that, we're going to go over it a couple more times before we actually start writing the paper on, probably not even until next Monday. Okay, so what makes a hero? In this week's resources that we've had so far, here is the video we watched yesterday on what makes a hero. The second source is this article, The Time Has Come to Change Our Model of Heroism. And again, you're going to read this article at least twice. The link is right there. What I suggest right now is you should read it the first time by yourself. So I would really like you to push pause on me right now and read the article. Again, just like Article of the Week, you're just gaining for understanding. You're just gaining or reading it to get an idea of what the article's about. So push pause on me, read the article, then push unpause when you are ready. Okay, you can pause it as long as you need, but in real life, I don't need to pause because you can do that yourself. Okay, so the time has come to change our model of heroism. That is today's article, and this is by Paulo Gallo. Does modern society still have heroes? Okay, and sorry, I'm going to stop myself really quick. So this time, I'm guessing that most of you did not print out the articles, and which is perfectly fine. But what you need to do now is you need to jot down notes, especially the parts that are really important in the article. If we were in school, I'd probably have you number the paragraphs so that you knew which paragraph was which, and you could easily refer to it. But that's not the case right now, and definitely don't write on your screen. That would be a bad idea. But anyway, you're taking notes about things that stand out or that really strike you. When you're thinking about making your own definition of what is a hero, what really pops out to you in this article? What can you relate to? Which can you validate? Or if there's something you strongly disagree with. Right now, you're kind of thinking about strong thoughts and feelings that really get your mind going, okay? Because those are the things that are easy to write about and that you can expand upon in your essay. All right, so I'm going to start again. Does modern society still have heroes? While I was writing The Compass of Success, I asked around 200 people this question, and one thing surprised me about the answers. To start with, everyone talked about famous actors or singers, athletes or TV personalities. Yet very few people brought up politicians or cultural figures such as writers or artists. But when the question changed to, who are your heroes? All the answers changed too. Lots of people mentioned a parent, and many more said a grandparent, a teacher from the past, an old friend, or a colleague. So basically, the responses shifted from the spotlight of publicity to the true light of reason, the light of the heart. It's as if we accept a model of an empty, artificial model of heroism, but in our hearts, we reserve a place for a person who's dear to us, someone who may not even be famous as our personal hero. So I think we need to reconsider our role models to reopen who we want to emulate. People we respect because of their ethical values and morals, not based on how many followers they have on social media or how much they earned from the umpteenth display of narcissism on TV. So what are the criteria for choosing our heroes? Heroes have to have courage of their convictions. In other words, these people are consumed by their ideals. They've been imprisoned or even killed for what they believe in. Does that mean we have to follow the same path? Heroic as it may be, it certainly isn't very appealing. But I'm convinced that we are all potentially heroes. A hero is that middle-aged man who loses his job and along with his identity. Yet he has the willpower to get back in the game, starting all over again from scratch with dignity until he makes it. A hero is that single mother, widowed or divorced, driven by a strong sense of responsibility, who manages to go on day after day so she can provide a brighter future for her kids. Heroes are the young people fighting to get a job or stay in school or to open a business or a startup despite an unemployment rate that strikes fear in their hearts. Heroes are those workers who break their backs for a decent wage, working the night shift, taking the same tram for 30 years every morning at 5. They are the cleaners who diligently do their jobs before 8 a.m. and after 8 p.m., so we find our offices clean and tidy. Heroes are those immigrants who come from faraway places and perform menial tasks with pride, even though they're qualified as lawyers or teachers in their home countries. They send their families everything they earn. Heroes are adopted children who are abandoned at birth, or children whose parents are divorced, yet they manage to keep their faiths in adults in their love in life. Heroes are the social or religious workers who help the disenfranchised, the forgotten, the invisible. Heroes are doctors, professors, judges, nurses, police officers who take responsibility for our health and safety, the education of others, often for a modest salary. They are entrepreneurs who manage to run their companies and provide jobs for people who deserve to work, often despite endless bureaucratic headaches, or in some cases, threats from organized crime rings. Heroes are survivors of terrible tragedies who strive to help others who share a similar destiny, teaching them that they too can overcome hard times. They are journalists or artists who use their art and knowledge to tell a story, to shine a light, to serve and encourage others. Heroes are people who protect our environment and our artistic treasures from unscrupulous opportunists. They are retired people who get miserly pensions after 40 years of work, but still manage to live with dignity and dedicate themselves to being grandparents. Heroes are people who walk through life on their own paths with their heads held high, without giving up their self-respect or their identity, despite the discrimination they suffer because of their sexual, religious, racial, or political preferences. Heroes are the people who don't accept exploitation, organized crime, corruption, scams, or games, where the rules are rigged against those who deserve to win. They are people who volunteer their time to help neglected seniors, exploited women, forgotten children, convicts, prostitutes, and people who are all alone. The time has come to change our model of heroism. This means that being a hero is no longer a mythical classification reserved for superheroes in comic books, or a few legendary men and women, or worse still, peacocks who spend all their time strutting in front of a mirror or under the spotlight. Instead, being a hero becomes a way of life. We don't need heroic acts, but daily dignity. Our work becomes not just a job, but our most profound and authentic identity. I'm convinced that you're a hero too, or you're about to turn into one. Okay, so that was today's article showing one kind of heroism and, not one kind, because that was many kinds, one view of heroism. And this person who wrote this piece views being a hero as something that everybody can do, and they're the people that keep fighting every day to make the world a better place. So that's that. Tomorrow we will visit another piece, and it'll be a similar day as today. We're going to do a close reading. So if you want to, and I'll go ahead on the weekly planner, print out the articles. There's one today and also one Thursday, and then we're going to start putting them all together on Friday. All right. So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I really liked this piece. This part of our heroism unit is especially interesting to me. Found myself getting a little teary a couple of times. That's okay. Anyway, have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow.